In case you missed it, here's a Sports Animal Rewind.
We're pleased now to be joined by a special guest, an outstanding quarterback from CAK who led the team to a couple of state championships. He also set national high school records and state records along the way, and that is Charlie High. Charlie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Are you still vacationing in Florida?
Yes, sir. I'm at Universal. I'm in a quiet room right now, so it's all good.
What, are you going on some rides or what?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm with Brett Kendrick and his friends and my little brother, so we're having a good time.
Well, you talk about Brett Kendrick. What's it going to be like going to Tennessee? I know you're walking on and he signed with the Vols, but you're looking forward to continuing that relationship with him as well as Josh Smith at Tennessee.
Yes, sir. It's going to be awesome getting my blind side to go with me and Josh, my big wide receiver, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to keep the friendship going, and hopefully we'll be rooming together, and I'm excited to keep the relationship going. Hey,
Charlie, isn't Kendrick a little bit too big to ride some of those rides down there?
Just a little bit, but I think he's always everyone's looking at Brett, the 6'6" guy going on a huge roller coaster, but they said he's allowed, so he just goes on all of them.
He might tip that thing over. Hey, Charlie, what do you plan to do? Now, you're enrolling the first semester summer school at Tennessee, is that right?
Yes, sir.
What do you plan to do this summer in an effort to improve yourself as a football player?
Just throw and get with the freshman receivers and throw as much as I can and lift and study the playbook. Just get a feel for the what's going to go on at UT in my next couple of years there. And I just really the first step is probably just learning the playbook. Without knowing the playbook, you can't really do anything. So the big key is just learning the playbook.
Hey, Charlie, it's Vince Ferrara. Good to talk to you. Charlie, you mentioned hopefully you get to be roommates. How does that work? Do you guys put in suggestions on who you want to room with and then see what coach thinks, or how does that process work?
From me, Cameron, Sutton, Josh, and Brett, we're all talking about rooming together, but I think they have a different idea of who's going to room together. So I think at this point they're deciding for us, so hopefully I'll be with them by chance. But if not, it's not a big deal.
Well, you mentioned the things you're working on to get better. What have the coaches told you about your game that they liked that you think will give you some confidence when it comes to fall and competing?
I think. What will give me a chance is the feel of the pocket, the awareness around the pocket, and really feeling when there's a defender on my backside and escaping the pocket. And I guess the big thing is my quick release and really being able to read defenses. I've been reading defenses since freshman in high school with Coach Bradley, so I think that will be a big key for me.
Charlie, how much, without the playbook, how much have you been able to study what the offense is going to be like in sort of trying to get a jump start before you actually get the playbook in your hands?
Well, I actually have had the playbook and I've been studying it. It's a lot similar to our offense. It's just the concepts are pretty much the same, but the lingo is going to be a lot different. That's going to be the toughest part, is just memorizing and knowing the lingo.
I guess Charlie High from CAK, he is the two-time winner of Mr. Football in Class AA. Charlie, I do want to congratulate you on winning the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame Co-Male High School Athlete of the Year. You share it with Will McCamey. What does that mean to you to get such an award?
It's a big honor, and it's just a shout-out to all my linemen and my receivers making me look good, and Coach Bradley really coached me well, and I'm just excited to earn this award and really excited to share it with a great player in Will McCamey.
You mentioned Coach Bradley. What has he meant to you as your development as a quarterback?
I think he's been a huge part of it. Without him, I don't think I would be in the position I am today, and I really owe it all to him, and really just all the meetings, and even when I thought this is a little too much, it in the long run, it really helped me, and Coach Bradley is probably the man that really helped me strive to be the best, and he's really helped me through my high school career, and he's the one that put my name out there, so I owe it all to him.
Do you think that playing for him has helped prepare you to adjust to college football?
Yes, sir. I think so. With all the meetings and all the studying and all the concepts and reading the defenses, I think it's really helped me, and it's just a little touch of how much football will consume my life in the next 4 years, and it's just it was a good baby step into the college football world.
Charlie, talk about the responsibilities that you had within your offense that maybe some other quarterbacks in other places don't get a chance to experience. Coach Bradley put a lot on your plate and on your shoulders, didn't he?
Yes, sir, he did. It's not one receiver and then take off. It's look at my one receiver, two receiver, my third read, and then check down, and if all fails, just take off. But he put a lot on me, and he some calls he'd be like, Charlie, just read it. I can't really tell from where he's at, because a lot of times he would tell me which side to read, but it's not like, oh, that side starts with one guy. It's multiple reads, and a lot of times he'd just be like, Charlie, I trust you, just pick his side and go after it. And he sometimes even let me audible, and so sometimes I would audible out of a run, but yeah, he gave me a lot, and I'm glad he did, because it really helped me to be ready for the college world. Did
you have any line call responsibility with the lineman in front of you?
I would call the mic out, and we just ran 70-71 protection, and he would sometimes I would jet to which means slide over the protection from one linebacker to another, but I would always call out the front and what linebacker they had.
How comfortable are you going to be taking snaps under center when asked to?
It's going to be different. I'm going to have to get back used to it. I did it in Pee Wee and middle school, but in high school, I think I got under center maybe once or twice in my whole career. So it's going to be different. I'm just going to have to get used to it, and so I think I'll be able to it.
You know why you guys? I'm sorry, Charlie. Why you guys are standing in line there at Universal instead of killing time? Maybe Brett can snap to you there while you guys are killing time.
Yeah, and when in these long lines, I'll just get my football out and we'll practice. We might get a few weird looks, but it's all worth it.
Did I hear you say that you checked out of some run calls to throw it?
I think once or twice. Coach Bradley didn't really like that, but
I didn't think you called any run plays.
I'm not really a big fan of the running game. Unless I'm running, then that's okay.
You're listed at 6 feet, 175. Charlie, is that pretty accurate?
I've actually gained 10 pounds. I'm around 185, 190 range right now.
What would you like to get to before the start of the freshman season in August?
Around 200. That's my goal.
And you're 6 feet, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that's the reason you didn't get bigger offers was your height? You think that's what kept you back?
Oh, yes, sir. And they all said it was not my height. It was just I wasn't big enough. But I was kind of, I mean, these top programs have the best diet and nutrition systems, and I could easily gain weight. But I think what it all came down to is I was a little too short, and I think if I had 2 or 3 inches on me, I would be deciding I would get a few more offers, in my opinion.
Does that motivate you? Does that make you come to Tennessee with a chip on your shoulder?
Most definitely. It kind of angers me that they don't look at Russell Wilson or Drew Brees, and so I'm excited. It's really motivation, and I'm kind of angry. I'm ready to prove some people wrong that height doesn't really matter for quarterbacks.
You set a couple of national high school records for accuracy. You set a ton of state records for completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns. What records do you hold most dear?
Probably the accuracy, and probably because quarterbacks can have big arms and everything, but if they don't put it right in the right place, then it won't happen. So I think the accuracy really is the best one, in my opinion.
What do you think is a greater asset for you? Is it accuracy or decision making?
I think accuracy for me, because sometimes I get a little big head, and I think maybe I can throw this ball or fit this ball in. So I think accuracy is probably my better strong suit for me. But I think with playing more, my decision ability will get a lot better.
Charlie, have you been able to talk to any of the current Tennessee quarterbacks or any of the other guys in this 2013 class that are coming in?
I talked to Josh Dobbs a little bit at one time when I went over to watch spring practice. He was there and we talked a lot. And I haven't really talked to Riley Ferguson. I've only talked to Josh Dobbs, but I'm excited to start working out and throwing with him.
How much have you seen of the Tennessee quarterbacks in spring game practice? Any thoughts on the other guys on the roster?
They look good. Peterman and Worley are really good quarterbacks. I'm excited to see what either one does, and I'm excited to see who the starter is, and whoever they choose, I think we're going to get a really good quarterback.
Do you have any stories of our boy Jesse Smithy, like stalking you to try to get a story or anything like that? Any dirt on Jesse?
No, Jesse's my boy, though. I hope he hears this, and I want to play golf with him sometime. But Jesse's been my boy since day one. So hopefully we'll keep the friendship alive, and hopefully he'll take me out to play golf sometime.
Charlie, as far as the University of Tennessee, and you talked about the summer work and so forth. Did you grow up a Tennessee fan?
Yes, I grew up from day one. Since I can remember, I was a Tennessee fan, and but I always thought if Tennessee doesn't work, I might go somewhere else. My dream was to be able to pick between SEC football schools to go play football, but I thought in the back of my mind I would always be a Tennessee player, and I always sat in Section B, row 47. So those were my seats, and I'd always sit with my older brother Billy and my little brother David and my dad. So great memories at UT, watching the football games.
What do you anticipate your freshman year? What do you hope to accomplish in year one as of all?
I hope to accomplish some turn of the head and see, oh, wow, this kid can really earn a scholarship and really start getting my name out and around the team and really proving myself that I can be a SEC quarterback and a scholarship player. All
right, what's your next adventure at Universal? Where are you headed?
I think we're going over to the Harry Potter land to ride the dragon roller coaster, I think. I don't know what it's called. That's where we're headed right now.
You're a Harry Potter fan?
No, I've never read a book or seen any of the movies.
Is Brett?
I'm not into that.
Is Brett?
Probably not. He's probably in the same boat as me.
All right. Well, look, y'all enjoy Universal, and thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us, Charlie. We wish you the best of luck at the University of Tennessee.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.